Alright, so this is the final video for my immune session of the class. I know it's taken a few weeks, but I finally got my head screwed on straight after the class is finally finished. Yes, no, everything. I don't think I've ever worked so hard for such a poor grade. That's all I gotta say. Alright, good morning, my vet friends. Well, today is the first day of classes where it seems to be raining, and it's going to be raining all day. So, I mean, we've had rain other days so far, but this is the first day I'm actually needing the umbrella. It's rather unfortunate because I slept in a little too late. Didn't wake up for my first 2 alarms. That wasn't a good thing. So I'm really late today. I got about 20 minutes to get to class from the really far 30-minute lot. I'm not rollerblading because the ground is wet, and I'd rather, get there intact with all my limbs not fractured. Although, if the wind was going in the proper direction, because we got some rather strong winds today, might just be able to have it pull the umbrella and pull me along with it. Should have thought about that earlier. That would have been fun. So I decided to ride the bus the other day just to see how long it would take me to get to class. I was almost late. I arrived at campus at 7:20, and I took a look at the route schedules to make sure I was on the right bus. That bus took me to the center of campus, around campus, and eventually dropped me off where I needed to be, or at least pretty close. Took me over a half hour just to get to where it dropped me off. And I was like, okay, so the one nice thing was I stayed dry. I was out of the rain, but it took me longer than walking. So if I walked with you see me, I had my umbrella the other day, and it took me 35 minutes to walk to the building that takes a little longer to get to, or taking the bus. But they were like packed in like sardines, like hardly a spot to sit, people standing up, and that was early in the morning. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like when winter hits. I don't want to imagine what it's going to be like when winter hits. So I'll have to show you this cool bike that I'm going to be getting. That'll be fun. I'll be happy to ride that in winter. Good morning, my vet friends. It is week 3 of immunology and hematology. Monday morning, we're heading for a test. Yay! So, why are we heading for a test when we had a test on Friday? Well, it's not an immunology test. It is a veterinary doctoring test where we get to calculate a bunch of real-world examples that we're going to have to figure out when we're in clinical practice. So, I'm kind of excited to actually apply the knowledge that we're going to have. Although it is probably going to be one of the harder tests for a lot of people. I feel pretty confident about this one. It's not a lot of conceptual. We get to play with math. And they said they're going to give us the formula. So, yeah, that's a good thing. And next month, well, we're not quite there yet. It's almost October. But November is National Novel Writing Month, where many people try to write a novel in a month, which is roughly 50,000 words. I've tried to do this one time last year while I was in vet school. Got 30,000 words down, and I feel like that partially compromised what I could have been doing in school. So although I have some great ideas for another book, I have a lot of other things I can be doing for what I've already worked on. I won't be participating this year, but If you're participating, let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to follow you. And if you need some tips, I'll be happy to send you some cool resources. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. So the test we took this morning, I was pretty confident going into it. Didn't do so well. Nailed the calculations, but they had a lot of stuff that was on there that was one of our longitudinal classes, conceptual material that we literally touched on once, like 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago now. And I can't remember that we actually discussed it. So I'm gonna have to go look back through my notes and see what we talked about, if we talked about it. Because, yeah, just didn't do well. Studied the wrong material, studied things I thought I needed to study. I thought it was be more calculation based, and it wasn't. Thought we were going to actually be able to apply real world calculations, and I didn't. Well, it's another rollerblade day. You know those nights when you just can't sleep, you toss and turn, and the next thing you know, you're like, it's time to get up, but just don't want to get up. But I need to get up, but I'm not going to get up. And then you're like, oh, I guess I should have gotten up, but I didn't get up. Yeah, that was me this morning. So, I'm rollerblading. All in all, I can just glide smooth. It makes it much easier on these downhills. A little harder on the uphills, but that's okay. So I'll get to class heck of a lot faster. So yeah, but biggest downfalls really, we have these rural tracks to go through campus, and they don't like me. They will try to eat me. Alright, so like I said last year, we have a 3-week course of immunology, hematology, oncology. Last year it was kind of blended together. This year I just realized, and we're in week 3, that it's much better organized. Week 1, all immunology. Week 2, hematology. Week 3, oncology. Wow. They actually organized it and didn't like mix all the subjects together. However, the tests, the first test, all immunology. Second test, mixture of the first two. Third test, compilation of everything. Let's go. For all of you teachers out there, if there are any professors that are actually watching this, there are people that I'm sure are very much like myself, who they may have dyslexia or other things that hold them back from learning the material through the assignments that you're giving them. And there are people who they flourish through the assignments that you might be giving them. But if you're not listening to feedback, you're doing them all a disservice. And through this class and the last time I took immune, I talked to the professors and explained to them that the stuff that they're giving us, it's taking me 6 hours just to complete the fill in the blanks. And they're not for grade. That was the biggest problem, is that they were not for grade. So if I would have written Peter Pan, I don't know, maybe he would have given me the grade, maybe not. I don't know if he even looked at them, other than to say all the blanks are filled in. But I did my best to understand the material, and that's what it is. That's what I got. I did what I did, and I finished the class. But when it's taking me 6 hours to finish something that has less than 10% of your total grade, overall in the class every single day, and your test makes up 90% of your grade, there's a disconnect there. I can't study if I'm spending 6 hours or 4 hours trying to do an assignment. That doesn't work. One of the reasons I chose the program that I'm currently in is because it was supposed to be a reverse learning curriculum where we're given a topic. So right now we're going through the respiratory system, and we know what our topic is in advance. So we are supposed to dive into those topics, study those topics, and understand those topics. Then we discuss them in class, go over cases. I didn't feel like the immune system stuff that we went over did that for us. Instead, it was a lot of busy work. Every day we had a multi-page, sometimes up to 11 pages of just pure text that was due that day by 5 o'clock. Sometimes it didn't even open until 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it opened the day before. But again, even if it opens the day before, say it opened at 5 o'clock just after you turned your other one in, 6 hours later, yeah, I'm trying to sleep. You get up, 8 o'clock, you have to be in class. You're out of class at, if you're lucky, noon. Otherwise, you're not out until 2 or 3, and then you got to turn it in by 5. That is not a good way for anybody that has a disorder of learning to actually understand the material. So for those teachers out there, try to actually understand where your students are coming from and help them out. And for all of my classmates out there who struggled the way I did, I'm sorry. Let's try to work through this together in the future. We can do this. For those of you that have been watching for a while, you'll remember that this is T-Dog. T-Dog wants to remind you to like and subscribe to the video if you enjoy this content. There will be more content shortly. If you like the videos, veterinary memes, and other things, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, have a great day.